Karen's voice pierced the park like a siren gone rogue, her screeching plea to 911 echoing off the oaks. "He's after me. Help, he's gonna kill me." The joggers froze, their sneakers squeaking to a halt, as her theatrics turned the quiet evening into a circus of chaos. Her name was Karen HOA, a woman whose presence demanded attention, not because of charm, but because of sheer audacity. At 300 pounds, she waddled through life with a superiority complex that could choke a room. Her floral dress strained at the seams, and her oversized sunglasses perched on her nose like a crown of entitlement. Today, she'd set her sights on me. Min, a 25-year-old barista who just wanted a peaceful walk after a grueling shift. But Karen had other plans, and her plans always involved drama. It started at the coffee shop where I worked, Brewed Awakening, a cozy spot in downtown Seattle. Karen had stormed in that morning, her voice booming over the hum of the espresso machine. "This latte is cold. You people always mess it up," she barked, slamming the cup on the counter. The foam sloshed, still steaming. I'd seen her type before, always looking for a fight, always craving control. I remade the drink, apologized through gritted teeth, and thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Hours later, in the park, she spotted me. I was filming a quick video for my sister's travel vlog, capturing the golden hour light over the fountain. Karen, apparently, didn't appreciate my phone's lens sweeping her way. "Stop recording me, you creep," she bellowed, waddling toward me with the fury of a charging bull. I lowered the phone, confused. "Ma'am, I'm just filming the park," I said, keeping my tone steady. But Karen wasn't here for reason. She was here for a scene. "You're stalking me," she screamed, her voice climbing to a pitch that startled a flock of pigeons. Heads turned. A jogger slowed, eyeing us. An elderly woman on a bench clutched her purse, her gaze flicking between us. Karen dialed 911, her fingers trembling for effect. "He's after me. He's got a camera. I'm not safe," she wailed into the phone, her eyes darting to me with a smirk that said she knew she'd won. Or so she thought. What Karen didn't know was that my phone hadn't stopped recording. Every word, every exaggerated sob, every lie was captured in crisp 4K. I stood my ground, heart pounding but steady, and kept the camera rolling discreetly. "Ma'am, I'm not following you," I said, loud enough for the mic to catch. "You approached me." Her face twisted, caught between rage and the thrill of her performance. "Liar," she spat, pointing a manicured nail at me. "You're harassing me." The park was now a stage, and Karen was the star of her own melodrama. The jogger, a lanky guy in his 30s, edged closer, his phone out too, sensing something was off. The elderly woman muttered to herself, shaking her head. Karen's lies were unraveling, but she was too deep in her act to notice. She doubled down, clutching her chest like a soap opera diva. "I can't breathe. He's threatening me," she gasped into the phone. I felt the anger bubble up, but I kept my cool. I'd dealt with Karens before, people who weaponized their privilege, who turned the world into their personal battleground. But this was different. This was personal. She was trying to paint me as a predator, to ruin me for daring to exist in her orbit. I wasn't going to let her win. "Ma'am," I said, my voice calm but firm, "you're lying to the police. I have this all on video." Her eyes widened for a split second, but she brushed it off, too committed to her script. "You're bluffing," she snapped, but her voice wavered. The jogger raised an eyebrow, his phone still recording. The elderly woman stood now, her curiosity outweighing her caution. Minutes later, the wail of sirens cut through the air. Two officers, a tall woman with a no-nonsense bun and a stocky man with a skeptical squint, stepped out of their cruiser. Karen launched into her performance, tears streaming on cue. "Officer, thank God. This man's been following me, recording me, threatening me," she cried, pointing at me like I was a wanted felon. The officers exchanged a glance, then turned to me. "Sir, can you explain?" the female officer asked, her tone neutral but her eyes sharp. I nodded, holding up my phone. "I have video of the entire thing." She approached me, started yelling, and called you with a false report. Karen's face flushed red, her mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. "He's lying," she shrieked. But the officers weren't buying it. I played the footage. The screen showed Karen's tirade in full color, her accusations, her theatrics, her smug grin when she thought no one was watching. The audio was crystal clear, my calm responses, her escalating lies. The male officer's jaw tightened as he watched. The female officer crossed her arms, her gaze shifting to Karen. "Ma'am, you said he was threatening you. This doesn't show that." Karen sputtered, her facade crumbling. "He edited it. He's trying to frame me," she insisted, but the jogger stepped forward. "I recorded it too," he said, holding up his phone. "Same thing." The elderly woman nodded. "She was yelling at him for no reason," she added, her voice quavery but certain. The officers turned back to Karen, their patience gone. "Ma'am, filing a false police report is a crime," the female officer said, her tone icy. Karen's bravado vanished. She stammered, her hands flailing. "Too was scared. I thought he was dangerous." But the evidence was undeniable, and her lies had nowhere to hide. The male officer pulled out handcuffs. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for filing a false report and public disturbance." The click of the cuffs was sharp, final. Karen's screams turned to sobs as they led her to the cruiser, her sunglasses slipping off her nose. The jogger gave me a nod, a silent acknowledgement of justice served. The elderly woman smiled faintly, returning to her bench. As the cruiser pulled away, I stopped recording. The park settled back into its rhythm, birds chirping, joggers resuming their runs. But the weight of what had happened lingered. Karen had tried to wield her entitlement like a weapon, to bend the truth to her will. But this time, the truth fought back. I thought about the countless others who'd faced her, kind people targeted for existing, for daring to stand their ground. Karen's arrest wasn't just about her. It was a small victory for everyone who'd been silenced, dismissed, or falsely accused. I uploaded the video to X later that night, not for clout, but to show the world what happens when lies meet proof. The post blew up, comments flooding in. "She got what she deserved. Thank you for standing up." But I didn't feel like a hero. I felt tired. Tired of a world where people like Karen could weaponize their words without a second thought. Tired of having to prove my innocence for simply existing. Still, as I walked home under the fading sunset, I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this would make someone think twice before pulling a Karen. The next day, I returned to the park. The bench where it all went down was empty, save for a crumpled note someone had left behind. In bold, messy handwriting, it read, "Karen's lies exposed. Justice served." I smiled, tucking it into my pocket. A reminder that sometimes the truth wins. The end.